Welcome back to 3 Plus You with fall in the air. Most of us are really looking forward to spending time at home. And if you're in the market to buy a house, no doubt you're hoping to get in the home of your dreams just in time for the holidays. So it's appropriate that we have Bruce Dodd on the show from People's Home Equity. Good to see you.
Hey, Julie, good to see you.
I've been talking to you via, your quarters for a while. This is the first time I've been talking to you from mine.
Well, I guess that's true. And I'm wearing my dress zip-up sweatshirt today, so nobody really comes in the office. So I should have planned my attire a little better today.
Are you not doing that? You don't have anybody coming in the office? It's all
So most of the time, some folks do very, very, very occasionally, but most of the, everything we can do from afar and to make sure our clients are as safe as possible. That's what we do in most cases.
So let me ask you about this, because I was sharing a story with you before we went on the air about in my neighborhood. I'm told there was a house that sold recently, and the story is told that people were kind of outbidding each other to get this house. So in the real estate world of it, you're on the mortgage side of it, but people are accustomed to realtors kind of being a call away. But has the technology that we're using made things even easier in the buying and selling process, do you think?
Well, I think, it depends on the person. Kind of depends on the person. For some people that are real techie, I think it has made things easier. For some people, it can be a little bit of a frustration. There are some houses that you may not actually be visiting it until you've essentially made an offer on it already. So for some folks, but there's ways to, you can see the house kind of like we're doing today. But for a lot of people, I think it has probably made it a little easier.
We'll talk about the mortgage side of things, because you are, you're like the preamble to the whole process, right? People need to read and come to you before they ever even begin looking.
Yeah, so what we're doing these days is a lot of companies aren't doing this because of the fact that they're just really, really, really busy. But we're still getting folks, we'll go ahead and get them fully underwritten before they get under contract. And that's a way often we can kind of help that buyer make their offer stand out, because, we're a sure thing. It's already been underwritten. It's the borrower's good to go. As long as the property is worth what you're selling it for and you really own it and we can get clear title, you're to the closing table. So, but what I would tell most folks these days is it's an absolute waste of time to look at houses if your financing is not in order. Because even if you think maybe we're not quite ready, well, it doesn't cost you a thing to go ahead and get yourself ready to go. But if you're going to spend the time looking at houses, then you really need to be pre-approved. And so that you're good to go, because otherwise, if you find the house you want to buy, just, with your story, there's 3 or 4 other people that want to buy it too.
Right.
And so if you're not ready to go ahead and pull the trigger on that offer, you probably, unless you just want to look at houses, and if you're just looking to look, but I think if you're serious about trying to buy a house, you need to be pre-approved. Doesn't matter. A lot of people think, well, I've got 800 credit scores. I've got plenty of money to put down. I'm not borrowing that much as it relates to my income. Well, the seller doesn't know you. They don't know all those things. That may be the case, but they need a lender to tell them that.
Right. And it is a difficult time in a way. It's great to have it be a seller's market, but from the seller's perspective, if you are lucky enough to have all of these offers coming your way, it can be a little bit nail biting because you don't know which one to choose. So when you have that buyer's seller's guarantee, that's a big help.
Well, here's the thing. If you look at MLS, you'll see houses back on the market every day. There are houses back on the market. That can mean that, well, the other deal fell through for any number of reasons. Sometimes the buyer just changes their mind in the due diligence period. But you really don't want to be in a situation where you're putting your house back on the market. So you want to make sure that the buyer's ready to go.
Okay. In terms of how people begin that process with you, what are they doing right now? Are they scheduling appointments to talk with you online, or are they calling the office?
Typically most things we do pretty much on the phone. So most of the time somebody will schedule some time to speak to us. We'll go ahead and get them a link to our real short questionnaire / application. If you type real slow, it may take you 8 minutes. If you type like normal, maybe 5 minutes. So then we get your basic, baseline of information on you.
Okay.
Then we'll fill in the gaps on the phone call. Then we'll provide you all the numbers and all that kind of stuff. It's very easy to get documents to us. You can either upload them in our system. We can send you secure emails, and you can just attach and send them. We'll upload them. But the process has really gotten pretty slick. And so most folks work at a place where they have online pay vouchers. So they just download those. Most everybody these days uses online banking. So you just download your last couple statements, you attach them to a secure email, and we're off to the races.
I remember when we bought our first house in 1995, I guess, or 96.
Now, how did you do that? Because you had to be like 15 then.
Aren't you nice?
So
I remember going into the bank, Fifth Third Bank in Evansville, Indiana, and it had all these, stacks of paperwork, and it was a laborious effort to
yeah, these days, most people, you sign a bunch of stuff at closing, but most everything else, you're just clicking a few buttons. And the thing is that, yes, we'll absolutely meet with people that want to meet with us. It's just for most people, they just don't really want to do that these days. And so it's just the process has gotten a lot easier.
Are they always talking to you, Bruce, or do you have a staff of people?
Typically on the front end, they're talking to me. And then kind of once we get things rolling, I have people on my team that'll help sort of go from the contract to close piece. But typically, everyone would start the process off with talking to me.
And when they are talking to you, before I let you run, obviously they're going to have their own questions that perhaps they're bringing to you, but you, I would think, have your own to ask of them. So are you pretty good at knowing how to turn over a rock to make sure there's nothing hiding?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, but one of the things is I really enjoy when people have a lot of questions. I'm a mortgage nerd. I do this because I like to do it. And obviously I like to talk. Mm-hmm. So I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy answering a lot of questions, because at the end of the process, people that are very well informed are happy because they know what to expect. People that don't know really what to expect are often not. And we want happy clients because, I only do business here. I'm not like one of these companies that's online that if somebody gets upset today in Flint, Michigan, well, they're talking to somebody else in Evansville, Indiana tomorrow. My clients, I got to run into them in the grocery store. And they have on a mask these days. They just don't know who it is.
Okay. And if someone's lucky enough, they come and they talk with you this week, and then they kind of have things in order. They feel good. They could be having that financial assuredness by what, next week?
Usually once we get your documents, a couple days.
Okay. So then they go look and they find a house, they win their offer, right? Their offer is accepted. Do you think, is it looking like still like a 2 to 4 week closing timeline these days, or?
No, if we can have everything sort of already approved, then typically, it's kind of a 30-day deal.
Okay.
If you're getting under contract before anybody's looked at your stuff, which still happens, then that can extend those timelines out.
Okay.
But usually if we can go ahead and have you sort of set, ready to go, then 30 days is absolutely achievable.
You could have trick-or-treaters at your new front door.
You could.
All right. It's good to see you. One day we'll be back in the studio together.
I can't wait.
All right, Bruce. Good to see you. So it's People's Home Equity, 6650. Is that right? East Brainerd Road?
6650 East Brainerd Road. Check us out at Chat with 2 T's, Chat Mortgage. If you want to, you can hit apply today and get the process started. If you do that, then Sandy on my team will be calling you to schedule an appointment, and we'll get the whole thing rolling.
Okay. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too.
It's an age-old question. If a tree falls on my house, do I need a new roof? Call C&R Roofing, the experts in roof repair. Trusted for 35 years, you'll get an honest answer, and the repairs will be done right. Make sure you call C&R Roofing.
I got hurt on the job. My hours got cut back, and now I'm stuck on light duty.
If you've been hurt on the job, any delay could hurt your case.
Don't wait. You could be losing real money. Call us right now. It's just that easy.
Call 265-1100. Fall days are rising over the Smokies, and family fun is back with Dollywood's Harvest Festival, presented by Humana. Play outdoors all day, dream in fall's vibrant colors, hear music around every corner, savor new flavors, and at night, take in the glow of USA Today's #1 fall family event, Great Pumpkin Luminites, presented by Covenant Health. Don't miss play days and glow nights at Dollywood. Harvest Festival